Hello, Mayhem Makers. I'm Mindy with Quilting Mayhem. Welcome to week 2 of Mindy's Mystery. So this week we get to start sewing. Week 1, I gave you all the cutting. So you should have created your pairs. That was your homework. So of all your 5-inch squares, partner them up with the companions that you want them to have. And just for the sake of this week's instruction, I'm going to call one just fabric A, one fabric B. It doesn't matter. Either one can be A and B, all right? So you should have 8 of A, 8 of B, and 4 of a background, all right? So for this week, you're going to need 4 of fabric A and 4 of fabric B, okay? Set the other ones aside. So these leftover pairs, keep them together because you're going to need them, but you're going to set them aside because we're not using them this week. We'll need them next week, all right? So go set them with the large squares of the background and all these fabrics because we'll tackle that next week. So of these, so you'll have 4 of A, 4 of B, 4 of background, 4 of each. You're going to start doing half square triangles. So if you've done sew-alongs with me, we do a lot of half square triangles. Somehow a lot of patterns I pick have them. It's a very common block. It's okay. I like them. They're quick and easy to do. So what you'll need is to take and make 2 sets that are an A-B combo. So A and B together, A and B together. Draw a diagonal line. I don't know if you can see it because this is a darker fabric on one of the fabrics on the wrong side. All right, and then of the 4 backgrounds, you'll put 2 with your fabric A and 2 with your fabric B, all right? Because these are going to get paired up. And you're going to go to the sewing machine, and we're just going to do 1/4 inch seam on either side of those diagonal lines. So I've already pre-drawn on the background. So you can take all 4 of those backgrounds, draw a diagonal line, and get them ready to sew. So we'll show you just one. I'm not going to make you watch me do all of these because the technique is all the same. All right, so diagonal line. Here, let's switch it for one you can see. There we go. So line them up, right sides together. Get all those edges nice and together. Take it to your sewing machine, 1/4 inch on either side. Let's see if you can see over here. Because I don't like cutting, I just take it, I pull it a little bit, pull those threads to the side, and then go this way. If I'm doing one a block at a time. If I was doing the rest of them, I would just keep feeding them through and do all 8 on one side, flip them around, do the others. But since we're just doing one, that's my trick. All right, so go to your cutting mat, and then if you have the 4.5 by 8.5, I love this ruler. And for this whole sew along, really the 4.5, 8.5, and 4.5 square, that's all you're going to need. So cut this diagonal, so cut these in half. Blade's getting old and tired. And then you're just going to press these open. So my technique, I actually starch that seam before I even press it open. So I spray starch. I'm going to iron it closed and then press it open. So we'll see. I try to keep everything kind of tight in here so you can see what's going on. So just my lovely combo. So this is a mixture, equal parts of flatter pressing spray. Pineapple is my current favorite. And then I have Best Press. Right now I'm using the Best Press 2.0. It's a little firmer. And equal parts water. All right. So I sprayed that. I'm going to put an iron on it. Wake that iron back up. And then press that seam open. And you don't have to do it open. If you press to the dark side, press to the dark side. And so in the case of this one, you would just press towards this purple fuchsia color, away from the green. I just like them open most of the time. That's how they just work well for me, and it makes my quilt nice and flat. Good, nice flat seams. But I also use a wool pressing mat. I feel that that helps a lot in making all my seams be flat. So by doing the starch, the wool mat, all my seams are nice and compressed and happy. So we'll come back here and trim. So it will need to be 4.5, which is the size of this square. That's why I love this. Now notice I have my diagonal line on the diagonal line of the square, making sure it fits all the way around. You don't want to get too far this way and then make it too short. So make sure that square's centered. And notice there's not a lot of waste. And this is because I did have you cut these squares bigger than the directions so that you could do this trimming. Now imagine if I didn't have you cut it bigger, and if your seams weren't quite right, your block potentially would have been too skinny, right? And we don't want that. We want all our blocks to make sure that they're all the same size, so when you go to put them together, you don't have wonkiness in this quilt. So that's all you're going to do. You're going to make half square triangles, leave them in their little sets. So make them happy little sets of half square triangles. That's all you get to do this week. So it's fairly simple, but get through all that fabric, all those half square triangles, get them cut, pressed, trimmed, and ready for next week. We'll have another step, and you know, it's only a couple weeks and then we'll be done. This is a nice, quick, easy one, which makes it fun, simple, low stress. This is a low stress year, right? So that's the hope. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can message me, email me, ask in the group, come see me at the store, whatever works for you. If you're struggling with any of it, maybe they're not coming out right or straight, just let me know. We don't want you having problems, so just give me a shout out. I'll gladly help you. We can always video chat, any of that kind of stuff. All right. Hope you have a fabulous day and keep on stitching.